What do we stand for?
And that boils down to the
Give me 5 things
redefinition
we stand for. Give me 5 things.
the redefinition of being Nigerian.
Excuse me, I'm the host. Give me 5 things you stand for. Give me 5 things you stand for.
No, because I'm not sharing your point of view. I'm not
That's
school of
a
thought.
smart man right there.
Yeah, this is the problem with Nigeria.
We need.
So you see, I'm the host, so we cannot question you. You see? So you're being very hypocritical right now.
I always like to think back to the fact, I always look at like random stats and the fact that like back in 89, we were 1-to-1 with the dollar. Like the Naira was 1-to-1 with the dollar. So what is it, and how is it that we managed to decline so quickly that we're now 350, 365 or something like that? I think it's 360 or so to the dollar.
It's 360.
365 or something like that. So yeah, that is
Painful.
insanity. My granddad on my mom's side was a photographer. When I look at pictures of Nigeria, where Nigeria looks like not even that long ago, maybe 30, 40 years
That's
ago.
your mom's dad?
Yeah. Like, this country was beautiful. How is it that we've gotten to a position where we don't know how to build road anymore?
It's just bad leadership. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's bad leadership and
Misplaced priorities.
misplaced priorities, bad leadership, and horrible team members. Because at the end of the day, you can be a great person, but if your team is filled up with lackadaisical, greedy, selfish, animals, there's nothing you can do.
How do we get to that place? Like, how do you get to that place where everybody's actually that selfish? That's my core question. We have these
money
things,
now.
and people.
It's all about money.
Because before people have money, these people, you'll be sure that they have such strong values. They really want what's best, and then you get there and you see the money.
Just to try and address like what could have caused it, like the source, I really always feel it boils down to identity. The fact that individuals have other agendas. Maybe because they put their ethnic group first. Maybe it's because they put their family first.
Yeah.
Whatever the reason is, has been the spark of it. Nigerians, first and foremost, did not realize. Do we feel like Nigerians?
Yeah.
Do we feel like one people?
What is it therefore to actually be a Nigerian? Let's have
that. I think now you've hit the nail on the head.
Because we talk about this stuff like from a real perspective. When the British came and they split us, they decided to make Nigeria. Nigeria was not. It didn't come out people deciding that we are one nation.
I guess that's what
you were a load of different
Are you trying to
tribes.
say that all this started from the colonists? That
Yeah,
when they came in, they
like for
infected
me,
us
that's
with
how I feel.
greed,
Like that's
with
not even
greed and
necessarily greed, but they
selfishness
played
and-
us against one another.
But even if they played us against one another, you don't have sense. So if we've been won before and then somebody comes in here and starts to do this. I mean, I like to give people that benefit of doubt of, okay, you can be influenced, right? But at the end of the day, we all have sense. I always use myself and my group of friends as a point of contact. Like, I remember growing up when I was a teenager, not even in my 20s. We were 4 friends, 4 very close friends in a small town, Sapele, growing up, right? And there was one person that sort of like connected us, because when I moved to town, he's the one that introduced me to this person and that person, and we all became very close. Now, I guess he started to feel threatened, so what he would do, he would go and say something to you about 2 of us, say something to me about you two, say something about us two. So in other words, he would be cool with each individual person, but then he would knock, at some point, so doing all this, at the end of the day, he became the stranger, because at some point, and I was the one that broke the chain. I was like, come on. I just get this sense of feeling that this guy always has something negative to say about, the
way
some
someone
of
else
us.
talks to you.
And then my other friend was like, my guy, I said the same thing. Like, this guy, that's how it happened.
Yeah.
And we ended up uniting, and he was now the outsider. So at the end of the day, even if the Oyibo people came, what were you doing before they came?
But this is the thing. So what were we doing before? Because before
Exactly.
they came, there wasn't Nigeria as defined. We had Yoruba tribe, we had Igbo tribe. We weren't a specific nation. So when
that means we're already divided.
So that's my point.
But we're already speaking different languages. Did they teach Yoruba people
That's
Yoruba?
my
Did they
point.
teach Igbo people Igbo?
That's my
Did they
point.
teach
So we
people
were
Hausa?
already different. We weren't already one nation. They now made us one nation because they wanted different
So are you saying they
things
should have
from
left
our
us
different
divided?
areas.
So should they have left us divided? So
The
you
thing is
can't
that-
blame them for the way we behave right now.
The question is that if someone is a leader, you are a leader to represent people, right?
Yeah.
The question is, who does the leader represent? Who does he believe are his people? you know, even within, so we have people who lead us, right? That person considers himself to be a Nigerian, but who are the Nigerians that he sees as his people, that he's fighting for, that he's making sure that they have?
And that's the problem.
The his region. That's why
And
God need a selfless
therein
leader.
lies
The problem
a lot of the issues.
is that we will say, okay, let's break up into different sectors. If a Yoruba person is there, he has to defend the Yoruba guys.
But
if an Igbo person is there, if a Fulani person
But
is
isn't
there.
that what, according to the Christians, isn't that what God wants? Because when we are all together, we'll build a tower to heaven. So at the end of the day, Christians will say the division is very
you were
necessary.
talking to talk about these things. You gave me, we were speaking chilled before we came here. We were talking about going Old Testament versus New Testament. Why are you quoting right now?
No, but I'm just trying to tell you, because at the end of the day, that is the
like,
genesis of everything.
So the reason and the purpose behind that again, and so this is why I always say one of the things I'm always very picky about is check your motive. Because if your motive is out of line, because the issue that God had with the people of Babel wasn't because they were coming together, because unity is important. It was the motive for which they were coming together. They were coming together to get glory for themselves. They said so that they could build a tower going to heaven, so that they could get glory for themselves, so that they could be like gods. That is why.
But we know
so
gods.
the motive was out of
Yes, at
whack.
the end of the day, the same thing. So we're all godlike, aren't we? But do you agree that we're godlike?
Yes.
Do you agree that we're godlike?
Yes.
So we have that sense, that
But
kind of
what is
reasoning.
your motive?
So at the end of the
Because
day,
again, if you're a leader,
so maybe they feel if we come together
Your
as a leader,
leadership
maybe
is
they feel if
not-
we come together, we would have that right to out them the minute we're not happy with them, which is why
Which is
we're
what it
going
should-
through what we're going.
there should be
which
a
is why
level
they
of
should be like.
understanding.
So you can't blame them. It is
But that is
inborn
my
to not want
point.
people to come together to challenge you. That's what it is. So at the end of the day,
so how
most
do
of
you
these
put
powerful
that
people,
aside? How do you put that aside? Because
like I said,
that is the
it's
end goal.
human nature. We have the godlike nature in us. The same way God did not want human beings to have glory to reach Him in heaven. Sometimes these leaders have God complex, you know. So the same leader, I'm not saying he's right, but I'm saying there are just some things that I think will never change.
I'd say I don't believe that.
I don't think it will never change.
Because then why is there why is there levels of order?
It is too late to
Then why is there
unite.
levels of order in other places, in other countries? If you think that it will never change, why is it possible for other people?
Do you really think they're too good? I mean, there's order. We're not talking about order now. We're talking about unity. Even in the so-called Great America, you know that they're the most.
Yeah, they're incredibly divided, but they know
divided nation on earth.
But they themselves know
They
as
have
well
order.
how to do. But they also know
So let's
how
not talk
to
about
bring.
division now. Let's talk about order. Because uniting people is never going to work. Okay? But now, in our differences and in our division, how are we going to come together to make the system work?
And
That's what we should be talking about.
So this is where it comes down to. So this is where I define, why I say also unity, is because it comes down to saying, where do we have common ground?
Yes.
And let us align on our common ground. And and it's the same thing, it comes in different areas, where it comes to relationships, when anything that defies a level of unity, you have to be able to say, what is it that I'm willing to sacrifice and what is it I'm not willing to sacrifice? Where is it that you have to be able to be willing to make sacrifices if you're looking for unity? Nobody can get everything. Because what we like to do is
I'm not saying we
highlight
should
the
fight.
flaws.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Have a system. I've been saying this thing since the beginning of this conversation.
Okay, please.
Order.
What is the system?
And a system. Yeah. Right?
What is it?
I'm not the freaking president. I don't know how to bring that. I don't know how to bring that system together. But what I said from day one is, you have to have a team, right? You have to have a team that's made up of reasonable, intelligent, wise human beings. You can't have a team that's made up of selfish people with selfish agendas, everyone looking out for, their own selves.
How do you identify these people?
I believe you've been able to choose your friends. You've been able to come from if I want to do something now, I have the people I can call. If I want to plan a movement now, I know the people I can call. I know the people I can trust. I know my friends' strengths and weaknesses.
Controversial statements. Is democracy the right tool for Nigeria?
Any leader is either one of two things: people-centric or power-centric, right? Is he going in there because he wants to amass opportunities for himself and his people? And I say his people does not necessarily mean the nation. Or is he going there because he feels that there's deficiencies in his, as a citizen, and he aims to fill those gaps? Whether or not democracy is the way to go, I can't say.
Because I don't know.
Well, what I
don't know.
military?
I honestly, like, I'm not sure that it is right now.
So what-
because
what's
I
right
don't
for
think
us?
that our people
Are ready for
the
democracy.
masses are educated enough to understand the choices.
You're not
they're
even
making.
educated enough. That's the thing. You see,
That's the
for
issue.
me, self, I'm not even
That's a very
educated
big
enough
statement.
politically. No, but it's true. Even politically, like I'm speaking as a political.
No, I mean
illiterate.
his statement on the fact that democracy is not the way. I find that very.
No. But he might be right. Like maybe you have some
Others.
level of knowledge.
Yeah.
Like, politically, I'm an illiterate. I'm speaking as the layman on the street right now, like the person that doesn't really know the nitty gritty
But you're
of
not
politics.
speaking as a layman.
No, I'm
You're
speaking.
speaking.
About,
You're speaking. You're because the layman on the street does not even have forget deep
No, I'm- no, no,
political
what I mean,
knowledge
like, I'm
of the
speaking as a
people and the
political-
cabinet.
No,
Let's talk about
that's what I'm saying. I'm
even
speaking
the
as a-
perspective of having the vision to be able to see that this is right and this is wrong.
That's what I'm
and
saying.
this
I'm
could-
speaking
a
as
lot of
a-
people
as
do
a-
not
as a
even have
human
that.
realist.
Yeah, like
I'm not speaking as a
educated man
political
who-
spe-
Yeah, at least an
you know.
educated man.
Yeah, as an educated man.
Who is not-
but politically
Yeah, I get it.
illiterate.
Yeah, I get
You
that.
understand? I'm speaking as a human realist. Like, you know, an intelligent human being. Not like someone that has studied politics and I know, you know, like a chessboard. I know when to move here and move there. I know all the names of all the players. No. I'm speaking like the man that is seeing small things here and saying, okay, let me, for my real life now, if not me did this thing, what thing I go do?
That is
You
the
know?
heart of it right there.
Yes.
If we were the ones there,
What would we do? Like
what
I've
would we
said,
do? Yes.
me already in
Pick
that
your-
position.
Pick your cabinet.
At first, my original thing is I don't even think that we're in a position where democracy works.
So you would dismantle democracy?
I don't think democracy works.
That's
I don't
what-
think it works for us right now. That's the heart of it.
My first approach would be figuring out how I can redefine what it means to be Nigerian. I need people to feel like they need to understand their rights. They need to understand what
Yeah.
I am there to do for what the country will do for you. You need to first believe in that. That is what
Opportunities. Why is America so big? Land of
the feeling
land
of
the free
and
the
you know
American
what's
dream.
interesting is not even the fact that you've even seen those opportunities, but the feeling that they are there
Yeah,
is
that's why
strong
people
enough
want
to
to go because they feel like if I go there, I can make it.
That's it. That's a huge thing.
But hey,
And
Nigerians
that's no
have
more
that
here.
now. Nigerians have that.
No, not
why
Nigeria. Where
they
are you?
amass their ways to
Where are you?
Lagos
Where
all
are
the
you?
time?
Where are you?
They think that if they come here, they will blow.
In Lagos.
Let's be
In
honest.
Lagos,
And
it's
Lagos
Lagos,
is
Nigeria.
one
But that's my point.
state.
Stop
my
that,
point
man.
is that the vision is still and the perception is not enough.
No,
The
Nigeria.
reality
I
of it is-
think a
we
lot
need
of
the
Nigerians
reality
have
of
lost
it.
hope in this country. Please be real. That's
Yes.
why I'm always speaking as a
Again,
realist.
you're talking about the educated Nigerian.
No, even the uneducated ones have
Yes.
lost
Don't talk
hope.
about the uneducated
What are you talking
Nigerian.
about? Go and speak to the average man on the street.
They
Say, oh, my country don't spoil. Oh, if you give me ticket, I go.
People are
Now America
disillusioned.
want go. Now Europe. All those people that are getting killed trying to cross borders and getting like killed in the seas. Who are they? Is it me and you? It's the average man on the street. Everyone's trying to get their way out of the country right now. People have lost
And
hope in the
one of
country
my big
because they feel there are no
issues
opportunities in this country.
Vision. I don't think we've created a vision for Nigeria. What should Nigeria look like? What Nigeria that will
was
profit
there?
everybody?
Were you taught the history of Nigeria in school?
I wasn't, but I've done my research.
Exactly. As you've grown up.
Yeah.
The issue is that the formative
the
years, the
concept.
years where you need to stand for something. Look, this whole feeling of America's the land of the free is taught to them from this age.
Of course, now.
We don't have that. We don't.
Yeah.
What are we? Look, in fact,
But there's nothing to teach them.
see.
There's nothing for them to practicalize it when they are growing up. You can tell someone that rice is sweet when they are growing up.
when
Rice
you
is sweet,
start-
rice is sweet, rice is sweet. Then you don't give it the rice to eat. You're like, oh my goodness.
Do you know
this rice tastes terrible.
I think what really crippling is the fact that as we were growing up, it was not possible for anybody born before 1999. It was not possible for a civilian to become president. So it was not even an aspiration bestowed upon children. There was no teacher, there was no parent saying, one day you can be the president of this country, because that was not true. You had to go through a different way to become the president. So the jobs were doctor, whatever, so you can take care of your family and take care of your extended family. And I think that's even the issue, is our generation has now therefore been distanced from this role of presidency. We're not really interested in it.
This is my belief, right? Is the people in power want to be able to steal. They want to be able to get and amass wealth the best way they can.
Selfishness.
Now, how do they stop you from doing that? They stop you from knowing your rights. How do you not know your rights? Lack of
as I said,
education.
you need
They're
to know.
limiting education. They limit you from understanding the choice. Again, they limit your vision. Now, because you're desperate and you need money today, they can buy your votes because you're not thinking about where am I going to be in a month. They're thinking about what they
But
can
they're
see
not going to even buy
today.
you. It's not our votes they are buying. No. It's
That's
the-
my point. So that's my point. It's education. The people that are
short-term situation,
uneducated
your short-term,
and they have no motivation to educate them.
Did you watch the video of where, what state was it? I think it was in Edo State, where they told the teacher to read something and she couldn't read. And those are our teachers.
Let's even simplify it to security.
Security
food,
zero.
and shelter. Security being number one, I'd say, because you can't really even enjoy food if someone is stealing it from you. I think that's the basic level of infrastructure that is currently absent. And the truth is, it does boil down to leadership. And it boils down to the fact that I feel the first generation, which was involved in establishing Nigeria as a country, right, entered from a fractured political viewpoint, and therefore there was instability. The generation after that now took it upon themselves to fill in the gaps with their improper knowledge and amassing wealth. The generation coming after that, we are distancing ourselves from it because we're apathetic towards the situation. We'll rather just see what can we do for ourselves, establish ourselves, our wealth, take care of our immediate situation, leave politics to the dogs or the people out there who are willing to get in the muck, because we don't want to get in that.
But let's be honest.
But are you willing to get in?
And that is my point. Individuals like me as well. Politics is not something
like I said,
that interests me because of
we have to be willing to.
You have to be unafraid to.
You have to be willing to let go of something.
You have to be unafraid.
Honestly, you have to be
like you have to
your life. Number one, your life.
You have to be willing to get
in this part of the world. Not even dirty. You have to be willing. The number one sacrifice you have to be willing to make in a country like ours is your life.
That's actually why I question that.
That's interesting.
It's your life.
After you're willing to let go of your life, because the people that have been willing to let go of their life, but what value is your letting go of your life? You have to be sure that even if I were to let go of my life, it will actually result in something.
We live in anything, so that's what I'm saying.
We need a change of philosophy,
we need a reboot. I don't know how we're going to do it.
But my issue is I don't believe that this is something that goes back that far. I believe that this is something that is more recent.
No,
because you go back to the imprint. Try to why? Because there were people that
we had visionaries.
When they had visions, they had ideas, they understood the importance of unity.
Selfless.
You look
or
at
selfish?
they understood the importance of unity in helping this country. They did.
Did they really?
It started to change the moment certain people got into positions of power and started to realize this thing is not working for me.
I felt as a leader, I would need to make my citizens aware of their rights and opportunities, and I'd have to create those opportunities for them.
How?
So in other words, my point is that, like you said, opportunities need to be made, right? And also education needs to be the heart of anything we do. So one of the values as Nigerians is how can we be, what is our future? Like what is our moral compass?
No.
What is what is the core value?
Question. I want you to answer
what is the
question.
This is the
okay, so
question
is moral value.
What's
So
the core value of being? What's the core value of being?
So for me,
right? The core value of being a Nigerian needs to be bound by, first and foremost, integrity. What I say is what I do. So that's one.
For me, the heart of everything and the resulting place of everything is love. Our issue is defining love. Because I was looking at the dictionary definition, everything is emotionally based. And when something is emotionally based, it's open to interpretation.
Yes.
True. And so if we're going to look at love for me, because my heart perspective is that we need to be thinking more of others than ourselves. And if everybody is thinking more of others than ourselves, and then you get...
But love is not... You can't
so that's the thing about love. That's the thing about love.
It's inborn.
That's why with the word like love, like you said, it's so open-ended.
That is the word's perspective.
Yeah.
So let's look at biblically. Love is kind.
Yes.
Love is gentle. Love does not hold on or harbor any grievance. Let's look at these things. How do we react to people? What is our natural response to people? Do we think out of generosity? But that's the thing. So how do we get to that position of doing that and acting?
We're aggressive.
I say forget all these things and let's talk about
guys,
the system.
Number one value is integrity.
You can't learn how to love.
You live it.
Integrity, you can teach integrity.
You touch you why I say you learn how to
integrity is one.
You live, you learn
what is the
love,
next core value?
Love is a choice.
You learn love.
Love is a choice.
By receiving it.
Let's be real. How many people, you're talking about you and I, how many people out there are ready to show love? Brother, that because I love you, I'm not doing this. In a nation where people are trying to survive, you're talking about love.
But that's my point. We have to change the standard.
How do you change the standard?
You have to change the standard.
How do you change the standard?
And that's one, accountability is a necessity.
So we've said two things now. I feel like the trajectory we should be going on, because at the end of the day, we need to proffer some kind of solution.
That's
and the solution is, I feel, is what, in our attempt to redefine what it is to be Nigerian. And that is, your ethnic group is there, but Nigerian, right? So we've identified integrity,
Education.
accountability, education. So that's 3 things so far. So we need a 4th and we need a 5th. We're getting there.
Opportunities.
Opportunities. But how do we say
Like-
that in as a value? How do we make that as a value? If it's opportunity, it has to be something. Selflessness is not necessarily a value,
It's
but we
not
need to
necessarily
we
a
need to
value.
codify a word that means you will look out for your fellow citizen.
Yeah.
Like that. If something that
Like a duty, make it a duty.
do you understand? And I'm saying
Sense of
I'm saying that, like,
responsibility,
for instance, you bring a
service.
child into this world and you teach that child about looking out for his sibling. He or
for
she
me,
will remember
that comes down to service. So if you look at
Service.
we're trying
That's
to
another word,
serve,
service.
right?
Service.
So we've gotten what?
We have 4.
We've gotten
Integrity,
accountability,
accountability,
service,
so
and
education.
education.
But is education a word that we can use? I don't know, but well, we shall
Education,
know.
which is
We know what we're
knowledge,
saying
which
about
is-
education.
Yeah,
sure.
knowledge and
Yeah, we know what we're saying about that as a
so
value.
service, although
Service.
education can be put under service, but it's okay. Service, education, integrity, which other word?
accountability.
Accountability.
Integrity, accountability, service, education.
And then, what is the last
cannot
one?
use love.
Something.
You can't use love. I'm sorry.
It has been banned by,
Yes, now.
by our
Religiously
pessimistic
speaking,
team.
give people the sense of discipline where, you work, you eat, you're not entitled,
Some
you're
kind of
not
work
easily
ethic.
bought. Yeah,
I want to say
some
honor,
kind of-
but I don't know how you.
Honor is kind of
honor
with
there,
integrity.
it's
Honor is
Integrity is if I
integrity.
say something, I will do that thing. You can hold me
but
to my
a
word.
sense
is
of
bond.
a sense of like that, like you have to work, you have to earn.
Yeah, like a work ethic.
like a work ethic, like
And
a work ethic,
Nigerians are naturally
like
industrious
discipline.
people.
Because
But
what I
enterprising
say is
industrious
what I say often about us, and that I think has been a flaw that we've exhibited, and is we have seemed to get by often a lot with a sense of
You don't like that.
we feel like entitlement. We feel like we deserve, and certain people, no matter what you see someone has, therefore you feel like you deserve it, and we need to
I would
let
call
go
it
of that
opportunistic
entitlement.
entitlement
Yeah.
because you've absolutely not done a thing, but you
So
see
I
an
think our
opportunity
fifth one
because you
is the
just
sense
parked a
of being
car.
hardworking, but we need to work out a better word to put it. Let's say hardworking for now, because
Like
it's
duty, like no, like that one where people have
it's
to be
where you
taught-
strive
have to be
for things.
disciplined.
Yes, you know that you need to work hard for what it is that you're
what
going to
whatever
get.
you
Yeah.
want to get.
Yeah, so
Just
it's like-
people
it's like-
watching
so
this,
in other words,
someone
we-
probably has the word.
So we
Let's say
changed
discipline. Why not just
the
discipline,
word,
yeah?
we changed the attitude from a opportunistic entitlement perspective to one that is based on merit.
Merit.
So in other words, I did it, I deserve this, and I get it. So now's the issue. Nigerians might work hard, but maybe somebody they don't get what they're
don't get
entitled
what
to.
they're entitled
Which
So
is
now-
what happens.
Yes, which has now
Which is what
broken down the
happens.
system
Most
where
of
they
us that
feel
work
like,
their
okay,
hardest
then I won't
usually
work.
don't get as
Don't
much
get
as
what
we
you
deserve.
So as a result, a lot of people just want to circumvent the system and not do anything.
Exactly, and still
want to-
reap the benefits. Yeah.
So the system is corrupted,
So I think that we've come up with 5 things.
pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
We have.
so we'll be like discipline.
Yeah, let's call it
The
discipline.
disciplines,
right? 'Cause
just
discipline,
work ethic, and
yeah.
all that.
Yeah, it's all
combined
under
is
that.
Inside,
Yeah.
Sha.
We have tried.
That's yeah.
Because and for me, my heart at this thing is that okay, so we do this, we have these conversations that are important. Working out how to start to embed those things. And I know you have a charity organization. These are things that levels of giving and starting to implement people in your own small way, because you can get into these
your own small
rooms
way.
and
Yeah.
because I think one of our issues is that even when we look at it, we always look at how bad the president is. President is tent over this nation.
But if you are in that
let's
job, what
look
would
at
you do?
Forget that. Let's look at the people in all. Do we hold our local government chairman accountable? Do we hold our, our
hold
centers,
ourselves
all those things?
accountable?
Because it is
That's
so
accountability.
important that we start to look at the small network. What influence are you having in your sphere of
small-
influence?
Yeah.
Because that is what starts to
Accountability.
ripple everywhere. And I think that those are the
Because
important things.
in other places, other states, other countries, where you've seen an individual who is charismatic and just believes in something, and like Uchi said, is willing to sacrifice a great deal, even to the extent of his life. He might not know he's willing to sacrifice, but these are the kind of people that have galvanized millions of people to one cause.
I think it's so important. It's one of the things that that I respect when it comes to Leia, who's still being held by Boko Haram. Leia, is that for me, because it's one of those deep things we talk about as religion. It's very easy for you to say that you stand for something, but when a gun is
they
being held
test
to
you
your head,
and they say,
will you stand by the things that you say you stand for?
God deep into
See, we finally got going, and it was like, oh, how could you stop us? Uti and his pessimism. That's what we shall call it.
No,
I'm a realist. You know,
to be fair, I think
most
Uti
times-
brought, Uti brought it was there's a pragmatic view, and that's always needed. Also, a view that challenges people to come with solutions.
Yeah,
because
you
now we
have
have
to.
our
I'm not about this-
we have our 5 values now.
Yes,
Because you
we do
pushed
have our
us to
5
get those
values.
5
Because
values.
it's not about holding hands and acting like we're in the Sound of Music.
Talking about
Go, a dear, a female. That's not the real world, you know. And realists are oftentimes confused for pessimists.
Yeah, because I always say that a realist is a posh word for is what a pessimist calls
You're
himself.
real.
That's the truth.
No, but you're real. I'm not pessimistic. I am very, very optimistic, especially when it has to do with stuff to do with my life. Everyone around me always says, "Guy, you always have a way of motivating me and pushing me forward."
I believe it is important to have an optimistic mindset.
No, an optimistic mindset. Part of being
and it's not
optimistic
lacking the
is to
reality.
realize what you're
It's not
fighting.
lacking the reality.
You know what you sound like? Yeah, like all those people that you say,
there's
"I've heard it," you say, "Blood of Jesus."
No, look,
That's
I
all
will
over
take.
the door.
Look, and you know the interesting thing, as a leader, I would ensure that both perspectives are in my team
of
because
course,
you need.
that's actually why it's a
you need
necessity.
a 360
It's a
view.
necessity.
You need both this view and you need this
I'm
view.
very optimistic,
Because
but I'm
that's how solutions are born.
realistically